on the backstretch, Richard Brooks rides one down hard. As safety crews move to the tattered remains of another race car, we see in slow motion what happens when a 3,700-pound automobile hurtles out of control at 190 miles per hour. Everything in the car broken from that wrenching series of vicious sidewinder rolls except for the mandatory roll cage to protect the driver. Unbelievably, Richard Brooks, after washing off the Alabama red clay, was back in the pits regaling crewmen with the ride of his life story. And the next day, he played 18 holes of golf.
Boy, are they hoping for a caution flag, Ken. One more before this race is over.
Oh, car in trouble.
Here, got it.
Spinning, crashing. That is the Trevor Boyce car. In big trouble out of turn number 4. That's a hard way to get a caution.
That was not the way that Richard Childress wanted it. He's moving around. He's just cut the switches off. He's coming out of the car after taking a ride like that, getting out that quickly. Another indication of how well these automobiles are put together, because that was not an easy ride.
You know, Ned, when he reached up to turn the switches off, my first thought was he was trying to start the car to go again.
You're watching it live here on CBS. Let's look at it in replay as to what happened to Trevor Boyce, who's been running right up there all afternoon.
Okay, he gets hooked. It looks like that's Tommy Ellis' car right behind him, and they just touch enough, and it shoots his car down to the inside. The air gets underneath the car, flips it over backwards. It hits hard on the top, scoots up the end of pit road there on the top. It hits the grassed area, flips back over, all the way over and back on the wheels and up on the side, and lands back on the wheels once again like a big bucking horse.
Some rodeo ride for Trevor Boyce of Calgary.
You know, as the rodeo performer would say, he chose a good steed for that performance there, I'll tell you.
Stopping to tie his shoe. Let's take a look in replay.
This is, they're coming off of turn 4. It looks like he drifts out just a little bit, Ken. Tommy Ellis on the outside of him there, and he hit just enough to send him around, and the air got underneath the car, sends it right upside down. Benny, what happens when that air gets under there?
I don't know, Ned.
Just the pressure?
At Daytona, watching this action that we're seeing on the screen reminds me so much of the Ricky Rudd crash from Daytona in the Busch Clash that we had in February.
One,
got one upside
two
down.
Cars in a wall, one sliding down the banking on its roof.
Now it's turning over.
Richard Lassiter.
Car slid a long way on its roof,
but held up.
Yeah, it looked like the most violent lick was when it was coming off the banking. It was just slipping when it was at a high rate of speed, and it caught as it came down off the banking.
I'll show you what happened here. Oops.
Oh, you see, just turned out. Looked like I got in the outside wall sideways.
And there was Lassiter. Right in the front of him, sliding up high as Jim Bound goes sliding through the infield. Down in that Lux Foods Chevrolet, owned by his dad.
Dale Jarrett's car had a lot of damage. There was Mark Martin coming backwards.
And there's Lassiter. Grinding along on the roof, much like Phil Parsons did here several years ago. And when he hit down to the apron.
I mean, Doug, there's a water bottle. It looks like, his thermos bottle or something coming out the window. Hard to tell what it was. I mean, that's plenty violent, but nothing like it could have been.
Neil, the good part is you see the driver's door there is not caved in.
On the bottom, Fuller and Rick Wilson. Fuller! Oh, no. Oh, no. And tumbling goes Randy LaJoie over the hood of the 92 Larry Pearson. There goes the page. Back to the line. And it is Chad Little leading Jimmy Spencer to the line. A horrendous pileup out of turn 4. And we're under caution again. There's Robbie Reiser's car wrecked Johnny Rumley. Middle of your screen.
Right here.
Up there into Rick Wilson. Is that Rick Wilson?
Rick
Rick
Wilson on the outside.
And he's
See
going
it
up,
start
up,
breaking
up.
loose
Yeah.
right there. The back end starts around.
That's classic. Pulled the air off of my spoiler right there.
Look at Johnny Benson here. How in the world did he get by this?
And Labonte turns around.
Oh, Terry.
Off of Elton Sawyer, and up goes Randy LaJoie.
I didn't even see Terry in that. Boy, look at that 6 car. I mean, it's going for a ride.
There's Reiser and Pearson.
The 47 there is Jeff Fuller. You see him coming around right now. Okay, the car is starting to wiggle just a little bit there. It's getting loose. Right now, you see the back end starting around on the car. As he comes around, everybody behind him is just a victim.
Except Benson, who is close enough to get through. And you see Sawyer get into Labonte, turn Labonte. And up and over goes LaJoie. Reiser hits the outside wall. So does Pearson. Reiser spins Fuller around, and Labonte goes straight back into the outside wall.
Boy.
Look at Reiser's car slide after caroming off the infield pit wall. Reiser hit it secondary to this crash.
See, he's real close on him there, and that's when the back end comes out there. That's just the air getting off the rear spoiler there. Look at Johnny Benson, though. Thread the needle, go right through the center there and avoid any damage whatsoever.
Was that car stopped on the inside?
That's a 90 car, isn't it? It looked like Mike Wallace was just stopped almost right there.
It was Fishline, we're told. Dale Fishline's car was a car that was just about stopped on the bottom.
Reiser went into the end of this pit wall down here, I think, at a pretty high rate of speed.
From Elton Sawyer's car. Wow.
Damage at the crash.
Trouble in turn 1.
Oh, car on its roof.
Michael Waltrip. Mark Martin is in it. One of the championship contenders.
Elliott Sadler, the Polson on 38.
Heavy damage.
What's Mark Martin?
Okay, keep coming, buddy. Keep coming. Clear low. Clear
Now
low.
on board with Michael Waltrip.
This should be pretty wild. This is what you see out of the windshield.
Right in front of you. Come on around. Come on.
And he just got hit. He got hit. There's not a whole lot you can do when you're in the middle of that, Marty.
Michael Waltrip and I just watched the replay. What a wild ride.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. The world was right, and then it was wrong, and then it was right, and then it was wrong. And then I came to a stop, and the Aaron's Dream Machine slid right up beside the Napa Chevy. I thought, this could be a nightmare. I'm not sure, but I feel great. Somebody turned the pole sitter. What are you going to do?
Unbelievable. That's typical here. Oh, watching it again.
I knew what I was doing, and Rusty just bunted me back over and got me in a huge crash, but darn, I was having fun.
33 lead lap cars as Paul Tracy just made a stop, 1 lap down. Crash. Car upside down. Start finish line.
Stewart,
It is Stewart.
Danny Quinn in the 50 got into it.
I don't see anyone else, but Stewart has taken a wild ride. The defending Nextel Cup champion, making an infrequent Busch Series start, was right in the middle of the lead pack.
I don't know what happened here, but what happened over on the back was he gave the 8 car a real shove to get to the lead, and the 8 car dumped him. I mean, he just drove to the inside, left Tony hanging out. I don't know what happened after that.
But we know where it happened.
Right here in the tri-oval.
In the tri-oval.
Yeah, that's
33.
Determine what happened. The 8 car, Tony had just helped the 8 car get to the lead, going down the back. The 8 car drove to the inside, and I think Tony thinks there's a hole right there that he's trying to get down in, and there's just not, he just doesn't quite have enough room to get in front of Kenny Wallace. And look at that race car. They just become like feathers blowing in the wind. Now, this is a hard lick right here. Fortunately, it's just, it's more in the left front than it is anywhere else.
And it was the right side of Stewart's car that took the brunt of the impact as it went over.
See, he's trying to get down in that hole right there. Not much room. I know Kenny Wallace is doing everything he can probably to give Tony all the room he can, but there's just not enough room there. You see the roof flaps deploy. Car goes upside down and hits hard on the left side.
Yeah, the roof flaps deployed. They did their job, but the air just got out from underneath the back of the car.
Wallace's car, Darrell, looked like he was as far down to the inside as is legal, right against the yellow line.
Yeah, well, Kenny Wallace is sitting there saying, oh, please, Tony, don't come down anymore. Don't come down anymore. You hear him get out of the throttle.
He pretty much did everything he could do.
Yeah, Tony was just trying to get in a hole that really wasn't big enough.
Wow.
Go left, go left. Caution's out,
How'd you like to be a young driver like Bernie Lamar and have that happen right in front of you?
And that was his teammate, Tony Stewart.
Wrecking behind you. Hand up, hand up, hand up, hand up.
Hand up, signal you're slowing down.
See, it's just right there. Just not quite enough room. And again, as I've said over and over, the car is so light in that part of the racetrack.
From our DLP cable cam.
Another thing these guys are going to have to be careful of. Somebody runs out of fuel in the middle of this. Man, what a big problem that could create.
Now you can see that. If somebody run out of fuel right there in the middle of that group, it would cause a huge wreck. We've heard. Oh, here's a car upside down.
Big time crash upside down.
Oh, it's Ryan Newman.
See Kevin Harvick there. Marcus Ambrose.
Ambrose is there, comes across. Harvick stops, and Newman's car comes to rest upside down on its roof. We were hoping it would not happen, and here with 5 laps to go, indeed it has.
Hell of a job.
I don't know what started that, but you see quite a bit of damage on that car. Flipped over 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I was looking out the window, but I could not see. That's so far. That's the furthest point away from us. Just couldn't tell what was going on there.
The safety crews are there immediately. They get in the car and will try to communicate with the turned around.
He and his teammate Tony Stewart got into the wall, but you can see it turns Ryan Newman around. As soon as it does, it's almost like that wing acts as to help to lift the car up. Lands on Kevin Harvick's hood. See Elliott Sadler there involved.
Elliott trying to jam the brakes on to keep from hitting the 39 as it was pirouetting up the track. He's able to miss it. Harvick able to get the car woed down as the 39 just comes rolling down on its roof onto the grass and comes over again another 360 before coming to rest on its top.
You can see Tony Stewart was running up on the car in front of him, and instead of hitting, he rolled out of the throttle, and Ryan Newman had a big run. And when he kind of saw what was happening, he had to turn left, and that shot him across in front.
He was actually getting a little bit of a shove from Marcus Ambrose, too. Yeah. Almost all the cars were touching going down the backstretch.
Now watch Marcus Ambrose's onboard camera as the 39 car comes across in front of him.
See right here, he gets that. Yeah, the second hit, that shot him over in front of the 29, and then when he got turned around backwards when the car lifted off. See, that bump there, that turned Tony.
Wow.
You can see the car up in the air down on the inside. Unbelievable.
Lands upside down on the hood of the 29 car of Kevin Harvick. Now watch it as it happened in real time.
Oh, here goes Kurt Busch around.
Oh.
Crash behind you. Crash.
Oh, upside down.
Mark Martin is over on his roof.
Back on his wheel.
Into the wall. Casey Mears, Rudiman is there, Reagan is there, Robbie Gordon, Jeff Gordon.
See Montoya driving through the grass.
And the white flag and the yellow flag are waving.
Martin still driving this car.
Martin coming from his roof, and there's the damaged 2 car sitting on the apron. Jeff Gordon trying to lift back.
Yeah.
Mark Martin trying to get that car to move, and it will not move.
Now it's got some ruptured lines, it looks like.
Greg Biffle did a great job. Jeff Burton up maybe somewhere around the 5th spot, as NASCAR, as Doc said, will have to go back to the loops and see exactly where everyone was when the caution was displayed.
Let's show you again here, coming down for the white flag at a turn 4.
Looks like Keselowski got into the 2 a little too hard, but Jimmy Johnson just in front of that 82 car, you can see, sneaks by there, along with Michael Waltrip.
Like Keselowski was actually getting a little bit of a shove from behind, too, from Brian Vickers. Kind of a stack-up that caused it.
And Mark Martin went completely over on his roof, back over on the wheels, came and hit the outside wall, and slid down across the grass. Right now we're showing Mark Martin in 29th position, a lap down.
You know, what a great job by Jamie McMurray all day, though. He played the game right. He just waited until it was time. He had a fast race car. You can see here once again, as Kurt Busch gets turned, man, looked like he was going to make something out of a very frustrating day also.
In the mirror here, in the mirror. 09 just wrecked us.
This all happened behind Jimmy Johnson. Now watch what Mark Martin saw as he was riding here to come take the white flag.
Watch the one coming down.
Oh, man. Yeah, you can't watch something like that. You could hear him say, watch the one coming down, but no time.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s onboard camera here on the final lap.
Say hi, come on.
Goodness gracious life.
I don't know. I don't think he can step out until he waits till the last second and picks up.
He goes to the outside. Is Edwards going?
Oh, no.
He turns him.
No, no.
Oh, and that destroyed the front end of Newman's car.
No.
Edwards will not make it to the flag.
Oh,
Brad Keselowski won this race.
Unbelievable.
Carl Edwards' car destroyed, and Junior's protege, Keselowski, the winner, and Carl Edwards is moving around and ready to climb out.
Larry, look at that. The carburetor's gone off the engine.
It's completely gone.
Carl did what he wanted to do. He stayed at the back all day long. He played it smart. Had this race possibly won. Not now.
A whole Hendrick package.
Let's take a look, Mike. Carl Edwards, he opened it up just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think this is a hard lick right into the fence. I mean, that car, that looked like Bobby Allison did here in 1987.
The catch fence did its job, and the car did its job.
Thank goodness we have the new, stronger, much stronger, safer catch fences.
And Newman took a hard hit from Edwards as well. Look at just a car with the room left on the bottom.
What happened here is the 09 looked to the outside. Carl went up a little bit to block him, and 09 went right back to the bottom and clipped him.
You know, the move looked a lot like the one that Brian Vickers put on Jimmy Johnson when Vickers won.
Wow.
But what a hit.
Wow. That is 1987 all over again. Oh, my gosh. And did you see that? I believe it was Biffle that almost T-boned the 99. But watch. The 09's going to look to the outside where he already has. Carl went up to block him a little bit. Now he's going to come down to try to block him again. And you get one shot at it, but you don't get two. Watch this.
What a lick.
Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable.
You know, and looking very carefully at the catch fencing that held, and I did not see any debris go into the grandstand. And that certainly is
unbelievable.
It's very gratifying to see. Well,
I knew it was going to be wild. I didn't know it was going to be this wild.
Run here, the three back from him.
This is from Carl's onboard
Looking
camera.
inside, 09.
But Darrell, I want to ask you.
And from Dale Jr.
Oof. But Darrell, I want to ask you on air, because I did not see Brad Keselowski do anything wrong there.
No, it was a blocking move on Carl. The 09 looked to the outside. Carl went up to block that move, and when Carl came down, the 09 was there.
Stewart to the lead at the white flag. We're on the last lap. Will they make it back?
Wayne will pass the fast when he's got the 49 pushing him here.
4 deep behind Stewart and Kenseth.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick's got some real help coming towards the front here.
Michael Waltrip in the 55. Into the picture. Pushed by Casey Mears. Kenseth with Harvick behind him. Oh, there's contact. Stewart into the middle of the pack and over.
it out.
And a huge wreck to end this race. Matt Kenseth is going to get to the finish line first. Is everybody okay? And one of the championship drivers got through. Which ones didn't? There's Stewart with Matt Kenseth. And you see clearly Kenseth out in front as the caution light turns to yellow. Well, here it is. Waltrip in the 55, Mears in the 13, Stewart in the 14.
You can see Tony just a little bit late in making that move to get back down. Harvick and Kenseth on the outside had a run, so they were literally going to go by him on both sides.
Watch the two. The championship leader somehow avoided getting really torn up in that.
See, it looked like Martin Truex was going to get through there. Bobby Labonte caught him right at the end.
They waited all day to do it, but it was big when it happened.
Yes, sir.
See, Michael Waltrip just barely catching the left rear quarter panel of Kevin Harvick. Get him involved. Stewart's car upside down on top of Casey Kane's number 5.
Talladega Superspeedway right now. Let's go down and see if we can catch up with some of the top 5 finishers. And down here, Greg Biffle, Kyle Busch, both of them kind of describing amongst the laugh and probably a big sigh as well. How will they got for Talladega? Greg Biffle, 5th place right now. What did you see out there coming to the checkered flag?
They're coming to the checkered flag.
Yeah, and you know as a driver, Tony Stewart's leading this race. He's got no help. He tries to make a move that's going to get him some push and help. And you know as a driver, if you make that move, there's a chance that somebody's not going to lift on the last lap, and this is a situation that could happen. It's a product of this type of racing, and every driver knew that's the situation that you could find yourself in.
And just kept it going straight. That's all I did. And once I was clear of all the stuff, you know, I kept going.
From Clint Boyer's seat.
Dig hard. Coming to the checker. Dig hard. Dig hard. Dig hard. 4 wide. You're on the bottom. Come. Get it right if you can get it. Get it right if you can get it. Into the checker. If you get it started, get it started. I see it.
Casey Kane. About to have an unexpected passenger.